Good morning, my dear students, and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning program. Friends, you already know that we are discussing now the last part, and the last content of the NTSC lectures is this, that is the sound. Yes, in our today's session, we are going to do the quick recap of the lesson, which is sound. First of all, you already know about the basic thing that is sound is what? It is a form of energy. Sound is a form of energy, like light waves. Sound wave is also a wave, which is transmitting in the form of energy. Now, there are some very important parameters with respect to sound. And if we have a look at the complete lesson, then it is described by the help of this memory map. I know the memory map will not be visible right now to you. Just a moment. I hope now it's visible. This is about the complete memory map of sound. First of all, if we divide the sound or any wave, the name of the lesson is sound, but as per what we are understanding, it is wave, motion and sound. Now, waves are how many types? Basically, if we talk about the presence of the medium, then it is of two types, that is mechanical and non-mechanical. If we talk about the two types of waves, which is mechanical and non-mechanical, mechanical wave means what? The wave in which medium is needed to propagate. Now, what is mechanical wave? The mechanical wave is the wave in which medium is required for propagation. That means to go from one place to another place, any kind of carrier is needed for the wave particles to go. The best example of it is sound wave. Sound cannot travel through vacuum. Then comes non-mechanical wave. That means medium is not required for propagation. मतलब एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाने के लिए किसी तरह के मीडियम की कोई भी आवश्यकता होती है नहीं. But the best example of it is light waves. Light waves are coming from directly from the space to us. Now, when they are moving from the space to us, they don't they don't say that we need air or we need any kind of water to come from space to our planet. Wherever it is going, it doesn't need any kind of medium. So this is how any of the wave can be bifurcated into either it is a mechanical wave or it is a non-mechanical wave. Further, its classification depending on how the particles are vibrating, it is in these waves, that is longitudinal wave and transverse wave. Now, what is the longitudinal wave and the transverse wave? Longitudinal waves are those waves in which particles are moving in the direction parallel to direction of propagation. Now, what is the meaning of the word direction of propagation? जिस direction में sound आगे जाता है उसको हम उसका direction of propagation बोलते हैं. To propagate means to move. अब sound है या light है, any wave I'm in general talking about, though if the particles are moving in the direction parallel to direction of propagation, then it is longitudinal wave. If they are moving in the direction perpendicular to the direction of propagation, then it is a transverse wave. Like you can see in this this is the direction of propagation of wave, but how are the particles vibrating? Direction of the particle is in this, that means they are vibrating in this way and they are going. So that is what It is when the direction of particles, the vibration of the particles, they are vibrating in the direction parallel to direction of propagation, then you can call it as longitudinal wave. If the particles uh, are moving or propagating in the direction perpendicular to the direction of propagation, then you can say that it is a transverse wave. Do remember again, this is how the complete wave motion is further bifurcated into. If we talk about sound, sound can behave as a longitudinal as well as transverse wave in some case, but right now we are discussing as the sound as a longitudinal wave. Now, what is sound? It is the energy which is produced by the vibrating body, and it is traveling in the form of waves. The next part is the propagation of sound. Sound transmitted in the form of mechanical waves, so sound needs the medium to propagate. There are many examples they have given you how sound can travel through solids, liquids, and gases, and then it cannot travel through vacuum. Try to recall, you had these examples. Sound can travel through solid, it can travel through liquid, it can travel through gas, but it cannot travel through vacuum. ऐसा था. अभी साउंड के ट्रावल थ्रू सॉलिड कैसे पता चलता है? तो ट्राई टू रिकॉल, यू हैड केप्ट योर ear on the bench and you had then banged the table and then you were able to sense it. That is what sound can travel through solid. So by any means, if you're able to hear the sound, then it is in this means. Coming to the next part, that is liquid. If we talk about the sound traveling in the liquids, then for that you have a very small example. That is, you are taking a balloon and you are filling it with water and you are putting your watch, and then you are putting the balloon over here, and when the uh, minute hand is generally moving, at that time you are able to hear its minute hand or second hand. Whenever it is moving, you will be able to judge its motion. You will be able to hear when they are moving. Especially if the second hand is moving in 1 second, you will be able to sense it. This is how you can say that sound can travel through liquids. The example of the Jal Tarang. Okay, it depends on how with which intensity it is allowed to fall. The next part is gas. If we talk about how can sound travel through gas, then somewhat it is like if your mother is speaking, you are able to hear. That is how possible, because the sound particles, they are able to vibrate in the air. So this is how sound can travel through gas, but it cannot travel through vacuum. Try to recall. For that you had one experiment in which in one jar uh, a bell was kept. From here, air was uh, sucked out and a bell was kept somewhere over here, but its switch was lying over here. Now till the time the air is there, you'll be able to sense the sound, but once the air gets removed, you will not be able to sense the sound. Now that is why it is happening, because sound cannot travel through vacuum. So this is the concept that we were talking about, and here it is about this much portion. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Quickly noted, then we'll move further. take the screenshot. I'm giving you 5 seconds timing. Now next part, that is this, which is terminologies. If we talk about this, how is the sound traveling, तो साउंड ट्रैवल कैसे करता है, तो सबसे पहले जो भी हम बोलते हैं या कहीं से भी जब भी साउंड प्रोड्यूस होता है बाय एनी वाइब्रेटिंग ऑब्जेक्ट, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दे all the particles they come together, then they get dispersed away, again they come together, then they get dispersed away. Now when the particles are coming together each other, they are creating a region of maximum density which is called as compression. And when they are getting far from each other, you can see here the particles are near to each other, then the particles in R are far from each other, again the particles came near each other. R means rarefaction. Here particles are near to each other, so the density will be maximum, even the pressure will be more in case of compression. In the rarefaction, the density will be minimum, even the compression, that pressure will be minimum because the particles are very far away from each other. So this is about how the sound can travel. If we denote it, the compression and rarefaction, then it is denoted like this way. Okay. First of all, we will discuss about how is this propagation getting carried out. When the particles are going on, at that time, each and every particle, it is vibrating at its mean position and it is going also. Now, if we are showing anything by this way, then this point, this particular point is called as its mean position. Okay, it is going to vibrate along this direction and it is moving on further like this. If we move further, then this sound wave, it traveled maximum distance in the positive direction over here, this much. Okay, इससे ज़्यादा उसकी इंटेंसिटी है नहीं. So this maximum displacement of the object from its mean position, that is called as the amplitude. What is called as amplitude, which is the maximum displacement of the object from its mean position. Okay, here it is, maximum displacement of the vibrating body, what it is called as amplitude. So with this, amplitude gets over. Okay, next, now when it is coming from its mean position to its maximum position, then again to its mean position to maximum position in the other side, and again it is reaching back to its original position, then this is said to be one complete oscillation. This is one oscillation. Okay, a substance is starting from its mean position, then it is going to the maximum point in the positive direction, coming back to its mean position, maximum point to its negative direction, again coming back to its mean position, and this is how it is moving, and you can call it as the you can say it as one oscillation. Now when the oscillations are moving, like when the sound is going in the form of the oscillation, then this point is called as compression, this one is rarefaction, again this will be compression. Now this much distance between two consecutive compression is called as wavelength. As we are having the distance between two consecutive compression. In the same way you can have the distance between two consecutive rarefactions. ओके जो दो नज़दीक के कंप्रेशन या जो दो नज़दीक के रेयरफैक्शन है उन दोनों के बीच के डिस्टेंस को हम क्या कहेंगे? वी विल कॉल इट एज वेवलेंथ. Wavelength is denoted by a Greek letter which is lambda. It is the distance between two consecutive compression or rarefaction. Next, amount of time it is taking to complete one oscillation. एक oscillation पूरा करने में उसे जितना समय लगता है. Amount of time taken to complete one oscillation, that is called as its periodic time. Okay, एक oscillation पूरा करने में उसे जितना वक्त लगा, 1 millisecond, 1 microsecond, 1 second, 10 seconds, जितना भी, whatever it is, amount of time that is needed to complete one oscillation, that is called as its periodic time. Okay, what it is called as its periodic time. Now let's move further. Time taken to complete one vibration, one complete vibration, that is called as its periodic time. Time period or periodic time. Moving on further, the next part. In 1 second, how many times it is oscillating? If we calculate that, then we get a new terminology, that is frequency. Now what is frequency? Frequency is number of oscillations in 1 second. This is, if in 1 second it is oscillating this many times, then this is called as frequency. Number of oscillations in 1 second, that is called as its frequency. If the frequency is 50 hertz, that means it is having how many oscillations? 50 times. That means it is changing its, that means how many times it is changing its direction. यहाँ पे भी direction change किया, यहाँ पे भी change हुआ, यहाँ पे भी change हुआ, यहाँ पे भी change हुआ. एक oscillation में कितनी बार direction change होती है? 2 बार. अब एक ऑसिलेशन में 2 बार उसकी डायरेक्शन चेंज होती है, तो 50 टाइम्स करोगे तो डायरेक्शन कितनी बार चेंज होगी? 100 times the direction will change. So in this way the question can come about this, that is the frequency. Number of oscillations that are produced in per second, it is measured in what? Hertz. Next, wave speed. Now what is the formula, or what is how they are related with each other? The formula for the wave speed is denoted by V. That is what? Speed is what? Distance upon time. Now distance, how can you calculate? So that you can look over here. Over here it is. Distance will be traveled in the terms of wavelength, because wavelength is going to tell us how much distance it has traveled. So if we say that f is the frequency, wavelength is denoted by lambda, a Greek letter, and wave speed by v, then V is equals to lambda into f. This is how they are related with. How is this derivation possible? Yes, it's possible because of frequency. You have studied that frequency is the number of oscillations in 1 second. Now it is also having the relation like this, that f is equals to 1 upon t. Because f is equal to 1 upon periodic time, at that time if v is equals to lambda by t, but what is 1 upon t? It is f. So wave speed is the wavelength into frequency. Okay, what is wave speed equal to? Wavelength into frequency. So with this we conclude with the concept of the terminologies. Speed of the sound wave is speed is equal to frequency into wavelength. And what is wavelength? It is distance travelled in one vibration, that is its wave velocity. Okay, so this is about the complete terminology of the sound. Before we move further, I want you people to just read this content as well as take the screenshot of this. Come on, read it. Read the complete content. You are having 1 minute time to read the content. Also, note down this important. Take the screenshot. F is equal to 1 by t, V is equals to lambda by t, that is equals to lambda f. This is again very important. Take the screenshot of this too. The next particular thing, that is the important parameters which are discussed over here with respect to the concept that are given. Again, some more terminologies, but here the concept is somewhat something different. Here, if we talk about this fact, then the terminologies that are with respect to sound, then also this, that is the loudness, the pitch, the quality, timbre. Then you also have one more, that is the intensity of sound wave. Which is sound energy per unit area per unit time. Next thing, that is the first one, the next terminology, that is depending on how the sound is. In that, the very first one is the loudness. Loudness is totally depending on the amplitude. Okay, more the amplitude, more will be the loudness, less the amplitude, lesser will be the loudness. Next is the pitch. Pitch is, you can say, directly related with frequency. More the pitch, more will be the frequency, less the pitch, less will be the frequency. Try to recall, if at all, compare about how a man and a woman are speaking. Generally, women are speaking more number of words in a particular second. Okay, you might be observing me to speak a little bit more content as compared to any of the other male. Why it is happening such? It is happening such because of this quality. Generally, the children and women, they are having more pitched sound as compared to the person who is a male. Okay, here you can see the frequency over here of graph A and graph C. Here you can see the amount of time it is taking to complete one oscillation, and here you can see the amount of time it is taking to complete the similar. With this, you can say that C is having higher pitch as compared to A. Why? Almost you can say double. Why? Because over here, pitch is what related with? Pitch is directly depending on the frequency. More the pitch, more will be the frequency. Less the pitch, less will be the frequency. So this pitch is totally depending on frequency. And remember that women and children, they are having high pitch sound as compared to male. Next is the quality or timbre. If we talk about the quality of the sound, then quality is uh, like, for example, if you close your eyes and you ask your mother to speak and you ask your sister or anyone else, any other person to speak, you will be able to recognize the sound. When you are having equal pitched sound, equal amplitude, but yet on the basis of the quality of the sound you can bifurcate it, then that is called as quality. Okay, so again, very important point. Once again, quality or timbre, how it is depending on quality or timbre, it is depending on the quality of the sound. uh, as I said, you ask two people to speak equal number of words in equal time and with equal intensity, that means amplitude same होए, pitch same होए, तो भी base sound वच्चे difference होए, that is what? It is quality. Sound is coming from different vibrating objects. Even there are many musical instruments which can play with equal amplitude, which can play with equal pitch, but yet the quality is differing, and that is how you can say that they are different. The next here, one important thing that we missed out. This one is the amplitude A, and here you can see it is double the amplitude of A. So this is how. These are two graphs which are given over here. The graph A and the graph B. In graph B, the amplitude is little bit less, and in A it is more. So A may double hai almost. You can see it, I suppose. Okay. Next one is sound intensity. What is sound intensity? Sound intensity is sound energy per unit area per unit time. Its unit is also important. That is the intensity of the sound wave. If we talk about the intensity of sound wave, then it is defined as sound energy per unit area per unit time. Now what is the unit of energy? Unit of energy is joule. What is the unit of area? Area का unit क्या होता है? Meter square, and that of time is second. Now joule per second, that is what? Energy upon time is what? Power. So it is sound power upon time. Now what is the unit of power? Power का unit क्या होता है? It is watt per meter square. So SI unit of intensity is this, watt per meter square. This is again a very important point which you have to keep in your brain. That is the unit of the intensity of the sound wave. It is what? It is watt per meter square or joule per meter square into second. Okay, so this is about it. Take the screenshot of this quickly. You are having only 5 seconds in your hand. Then this part. Also take the screenshot of this and try to think what is loudness. It is directly associated with which thing? Amplitude. More the amplitude, more will be the loudness. Then next thing is pitch. What is the pitch? Depends on frequency. More frequency, more pitch sound. Lesser the frequency, less pitch sound. Women are generally having high pitched sound. Children are also having high pitched sound. Next is quality or timbre. In quality or timbre, you are having like the sound with equal loudness, equal pitch may differ from each other on the basis of the quality, and that is the quality of the sound or the timbre. The next is intensity of the sound wave, that is sound energy per unit area per unit time. And what is its SI unit? Its SI unit is watt per meter square or joule per meter square into second. We will now move further on the next part. This is the last part, the range of hearing. The audible sound, it is we are able to sense is it's from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Now that is 20 to 20,000 hertz. 1 kilo is 1000. So we are able to sense between 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. If the sound wave is less than 20 hertz, then it is called as infrasonic sound. Not all people can sense it. People cannot sense it, but some of the other living organisms can sense it. Next is ultrasonic sound. If we talk about the ultrasonic sound, then it is the sound in which the frequency is more than 20 hertz, and if we talk about its uses, then its uses are a lot. The very first thing, that is the use of the ultrasonic sound, is it is used in the cleaning purpose. Now how can it be used for cleaning? Yes, there are some of the machine shapes which are having very irregular shape, where human beings cannot clean it. So for them we are using ultrasonic sound wave for cleaning some of the machine parts. That is again a very important thing which you have to remember. It is used for the cleaning purpose. The next thing is about this. If we talk about the next use is, for example, there is any metallic block. Now there is any kind of flaw in it, कोई भी उसमें problem है. Over here, if we are allowing the ultrasonic sound waves to pass through it, how will they pass? They'll pass away straight. Here, the detector will not be able to sense it. This will pass away. So if here you are having the detector to detect the ultrasonic sound waves, here if any detector is kept, then this detector will be able to sense these waves, but these waves will not reach. So with this we can conclude that there is any kind of flaw over here in the metallic block. So flaw in the metallic block can be detected. The next thing is where the ultrasonic sound wave is useful to us is it is used in echocardiography. In ECG to check the patient's heartbeat and all the things with respect to the heart. Okay, so this is how it is used. Next, it is used in ultrasonography. Other thing where it is used is it is used in the treatment of breaking the stones. Okay, pathri क्यों कहीं થઈ ગયો है, then in that case how are they trying to solve the problem? They are imparting the quickly moving the ultrasonic sound waves, and that ultrasonic sound waves will convert all the stones into the grains, and then it will be flushed out through urine. Okay, and the next very important point about the uses, if we talk about the very important use of ultrasonic sound is this, which is sonar. That works on one important concept, that is echo. but it is one of the use of ultrasonic sound. Okay, so for doing this concept we need to again move with this. If we talk about the reflection of the sound, then these are the first of all the basic wave. Here is one very small example that is given to you. You have to arrange a wooden board over here. So the cardboard tube, the cylindrical one. Here you are keeping this stopwatch. Over here you will be able to listen it if it is kept at the common angles. The laws of reflection are similar to the laws of reflection of light waves. That is, the very first one is the incident wave, the reflected wave and normal. All three lie in the same plane. Next is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Both these angles are equal. Now on the basis of this also the different kind of numericals can come. What is the first one? Incident wave, reflected wave and normal. All next one is the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. These are two very important laws which can be asked in different formats. They can give you angle of incidence, they can give you to find out angle of reflection. They may give you this particular angle and then they can ask you for that you have to, for finding out angle of incidence you have to subtract it from 90. This kind of sums you have already done in class 8, so they can approach you in a similar way for class 9 too. Okay, now coming to echo. Echo is what? Any person is making any kind of noise and there is an obstacle, as you can see it over here. The minimum amount of distance that is needed for echo to create is this 17.2 meter. अगर minimum इतना दूर है तो the sound gets reflected and we are able to sense the sound back. साउंड गया और फिर साउंड वापस आया. उस कॉन्सेप्ट के बेसिस पे अल्ट्रासोनिक साउंड का एक एप्लीकेशन है दैट इज सोनार. ओके, यहाँ पे भी याद रखिएगा जब भी एको का कोई भी सम आए किसी भी माउंटेन क्लिफ पे, तब ये एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट सा और बहुत नॉर्मल सा कॉन्सेप्ट है. There is any obstacle over here and we are having sound is produced from here. अब यहाँ से sound wave है वो it's going and again it's coming back. It went and it came back. Now it went and it came back. So total amount of distance traveled will be 2d. Time taken is suppose say t and v is the velocity of the sound wave. So if they are asking you to calculate the distance, then distance is what? v into t upon 2. You have to reduce it to half. Okay, this is any object as we stated. This is the obstacle. Now I hope it's clear now. So the obstacle, whenever this sound wave is going and coming back at that time, the amount of distance it is traveling will depend on this, that is d is equals to v into t upon 2. You have to reduce it to half. आपको उसे आधा करना पड़ेगा. Coming to the next part, which is sonar. What is sonar? Sonar is sound navigation and ranging. Concept उसका बहुत ही simple है. इधर आपको एक ट्रांसमीटर रखा गया है that is producing the ultrasonic sound. This sound will go at the bottom of the sea. After getting reflected, it will come back and receiver will sense it. Now when the receiver is sensing it, the sound wave energy will go and it will come back at that time. Again, amount of distance traveled is what 2D. Time taken can be calculated with this. We can calculate the distance by using this concept again, that is V is equals to 2D by T. What are the problems that the sonar can solve? Sonar can find out any sunken ships that are present at the bottom, and ultimately it can be helpful to calculate the depth of any sea. So these are some of the uses of sonar. Please take the screenshot of this. This one. Uses of ultrasonic sound. Take the screenshots, just it will be helpful. Okay, rest is done. So with this I wind up with the complete part. If you are facing any kind of difficulties, you can put up a call and ask me. I wish you all the very best, and this is all that we will be doing for NTSA. See, the journey of success should continue, okay, for your life. So the last words, all the very best for your NTSC, for your boards, and for your entire life. May you grow well where you are planted. So that's the last word. Yet you face any kind of problem, just directly put up a call and get your doubts or the queries solved. Thank you so much, my dear students, and we wish to see you back again in the school. So with this, we conclude with the NTSC lectures. Bye bye.